After some borderline disastrous weigh-ins, UFC 324 is going ahead as scheduled. And let me give you my full card picks and predictions and give you a little bit of a background for every single fight in case you are unfamiliar with some fighters on here. First fight of the night, give me Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. Adam Fugit has kind of a so-so record in the UFC. He has faced some good competition like Mike Malott and Michael Morales, and Ty Miller just got signed on the Contender Series last year, and he is currently 6-0, which is honestly not a lot of experience for a UFC fighter, but he looks pretty promising, so I am picking him here by knockout. Next up, Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. This fight could go either way, but I got Hokett personally. Hokett is a pretty annoying, in my opinion, Colby Covington clone sort of guy who just has this big braggadocious personality and is just a little phony to me. Denzel Freeman's a Greco-Roman wrestler who, you know, has a okay record. He's 1-0 in the UFC. Josh Hokett's 1-0 as well. And I just think this fight won't be super crazy, but I think Josh Hokett is probably going to try to find a knockout because if he builds himself some hype, maybe he could end up on the White House in a few months on the early prelims or something. Next up would have been Cameron Smotherman versus Ricky Tercios, but that fight got canceled after Cameron Smotherman fainted on the weigh-in stage. Guys, we gotta get rid of weight cuts. It looked really bad. Seriously, I have a friend who knows Cameron Smotherman. Like, he made weight too, and he still just fainted, and the fight got pulled, obviously. But yeah, really sucks to see. Hope he's okay. Next up, Johnson versus Hernandez. I'm taking Alexander Hernandez here. Johnson is kind of a gatekeeper, and so is Hernandez. They're both kind of journeymen, have been in the UFC for a while, but Hernandez is a 6-year younger journeyman. Hernandez still has the age to make a run, while as Johnson's 40, turning 40 this year, so I don't think it's possible for him to make a run at the title anymore. He's on a 3-fight win streak with a nice win over Daniel Zellhuber, and Hernandez is on a 4-fight win streak with a nice win over Chase Hooper. I just think Hernandez is better, and he's improving much more than Johnson is, and I think Hernandez could really punch himself into the top 15 after a win like this, and I think he's going to knock him out. Next up, Perez versus Charles Johnson. Perez did miss weight, but I was going to pick Charles Johnson anyways. Perez looked very bad on the scales. This will probably be his last fight with the UFC because he's 1-5 in his last 6 fights. He has faced very good competition, but 1-5 is pretty bad. He's definitely gonna get cut after this, especially after he loses to Charles Johnson, which I think is going to happen. Next up, Krylov versus Bukauskas. Nikita Krylov's in a bit of a skid. He had some injuries, came back, lost a couple fights, so he has lost a couple fights in a row. Bukauskas is on a bit of a comeback. He also has a couple losses in the UFC, but he's making a comeback now, and I think he is going to keep up that momentum and probably knock out Nikita Krylov. Krylov could get cut after this, so Krylov is going to try his hardest, but I think Bukauskas is going to punch himself into the top 15 with a knockout over Krylov. Next up, Atiba Gaethje versus Andre Pulyaev. Pulyaev is pretty new to the UFC. Gaethje is 3-0 in the UFC, all finishes, and I just think Gaethje is going to absolutely smoke him. Atiba Gaethje needs a ranked opponent after this. He will get one after this, but this is just one more easy fight they're going to give him, and he is going to smoke Pulyaev and knock him out in the first round. Next up, Nurmagomedov versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson Figueiredo, former double champ, did miss weight, looked pretty bad on the scales, unfortunately. He is getting up there in age. He still looks good in his career. He had a nice win over Montel Jackson recently, and Umar Nurmagomedov is bouncing back after the Merab loss with a win over Mario Bautista, and now he's fighting Figgy here, which is going to punch him back into title contention. I think Umar is better than Figgy everywhere, honestly, except for power, but if Figgy had a bad weight cut, that power could go away. I think Umar is going to dominate him here. I think he's an absolute lock. Starting the main card, Allen versus Silva. Guys, I'm picking the underdog Arnold Allen here. I know Arnold Allen is coming back after some injuries, but he's faced very good competition. He's lost to Max Holloway, which was a pretty close fight. He had a very close fight over Movsar Evloev, which he also lost, unfortunately, but he has some nice wins in the UFC too, such as Dan Hooker and Calvin Kattar. And Silva, as you may or may not know, is a pretty surging prospect. He just got knocked out by Diego Lopez, unfortunately, but he is coming back with a vengeance. He will try to knock Allen out, but I think if Allen can handle Max Holloway's pressure, he could probably handle Silva's pressure, which is why I'm picking Arnold Allen. Next up, Silva versus Namajunas. I think I'm picking Silva here, guys. I think Silva is going to dominate her. Rose Namajunas has 2 wins over Zhang Lee, 2 wins over Ioana Jędrzejczyk. She has a very good resume, but she is in the late stages of her career, while as Silva is a surging prospect, much younger, and will get a title shot after this win. She should have got a title shot already. She probably would have had the belt by now if Zhang Lee didn't move up and lap her in the title shot picture, but Silva is going to get her title shot with this win. I guarantee it. Next up, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. This is going to be a fun one, guys. Derek Lewis is going to try to take his head off. Waldo's going to try to take his head off. I think they're both going to come out swinging, and I think Waldo's going to get the knockout in the first round. I think Waldo's just better everywhere. Derek Lewis is like 40, 42 years old or something like that. Waldo's a bit younger, and Waldo is 1 or 2 wins away from a title shot, whereas Derek Lewis is near the end of his career. I think Waldo is going to smoke him. Then the co-main event is supposed to be Kayla versus Amanda, but obviously that fight got canceled. Now we got Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong, which is still a pretty co-main event worthy fight. Unfortunately, there's no undisputed title fights on this card, but there's still a lot of star power on it. I got Sean O'Malley here, guys. Sean O'Malley, I think, is going to pull this one off. Song Yadong has had trouble against taller fighters. Song Yadong is a bit short for the weight class, and I think Sean O'Malley will just piece him up at range and probably pick up a decision. He really needs a knockout. I don't know if he's going to get it, but a decision by Sean O'Malley is a pretty safe bet in my opinion. Then in the main event, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, guys. What everyone's been waiting for. I think Paddy's going to take this one, guys. Paddy was the first one to weigh in. Justin Gaethje was the last. Paddy's physique looks way better, but if we talk about the fighting, I think Justin is near the end of his career. I think his coach actually literally said that if you lose this one, it is over, and Paddy is just entering his prime, guys. I know Paddy's resume is obviously nowhere near Justin Gaethje's. Justin Gaethje has fought the best in the world for 10 years, such as, you know, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, Khabib Nurmagomedov. The list goes on, and Paddy's best wins are like Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson, but Paddy is improving every fight, guys, and the plot armor will win this one, I think. I think he will pull off a decision, maybe a late submission, something happens in a scramble, but I am expecting a war here, guys. Both these guys aren't going to go down easy. Both of them have very solid chins. I think Paddy's chin is probably better than Gaethje's because he has much less mileage, so I don't think Gaethje's going to knock him out. That's probably his best bet, though. So if you were to bet Gaethje, maybe bet him by knockout, but I just don't see it happening, guys. I think Paddy's going to pull this one off and pull it off with a sliver. You know, I think it's going to be a war. There's going to be blood, but it's going to be a main event worthy fight, guys. Unfortunately, it's not an undisputed title fight. I think Arman deserves an undisputed title fight more than these guys, but this is what the UFC made, and this is what we're going to watch, so why not enjoy it? I think it's going to be a fun fight, but I got Paddy, guys. Let me know who you guys got. Let me know if my picks are terrible or they are amazing. I personally think they're amazing, and see you guys.